Hi, I'm Tony Strickland, Mayor of Huntington Beach. Welcome to the State of the City Address 2023. We've done more in 1 year than most councils have done in 8, but don't take my word for it. Take a look for yourself.
So the most essential role of government is public safety, because if people don't feel safe in their schools, at their home, and in their neighborhood, everything we talk about, we might as well not even talk about. Public safety is the essential role of local government, and we need to do whatever we can to make sure people are safe. And we don't get 13 million visitors a year if people don't feel safe. We don't have a great school system if we're not safe. So public safety needs to be the #1 priority for local government.
Public safety is important no matter where I work, but for me, because I live here, as a chief of police, I'm going to direct my resources to that area. But I know in this city, I feel safe walking anywhere in this city day and night. And the goal is for not only me to be safe, but it's for every resident to be safe, and of equal importance is for our visitors to be safe.
Well, first of all, our police chief has done a remarkable job at keeping us safe, because he's 28 officers under what we need to be. We weren't given compensation, comparatively speaking, to the rest of the surrounding areas. When it came to Irvine, Seal Beach, Garden Grove, we were 8th out of 9. And so a lot of our officers, they would love to stay in Huntington Beach, but they left and they lateraled out. And so we were 28 officers down, and we still kept a safe community. What we needed to do is do the POA contract, get them right there, not the top, but as long as we're in the ballpark, which we put them in the ballpark. Now we stop the hemorrhaging, and we're gonna fill those 28 officers. But what we're now essentially doing is giving the chief the tools they need to keep us safe in Huntington Beach.
Investing in public safety is a priority, because as council members, that should be our main goal. And we needed to invest in our public safety in order to be competitive in the market and have the best officers that we can here in our city.
I support the increase in compensation for police officers because it is a national problem.
We're attracting young people. Young people aren't attracted to this profession anymore, but they are attracted to better pay, better benefits, and what we include in that is a wellness component to that benefit, so we keep our officers safe. But we also need to keep our veterans here. We need to keep the skilled, experienced officers here so that they can train the younger ones on how to do police work best. We want to get the best people here. We want to have the highest quality of service here. We want the highest quality of officer here. The way we get that is by having better pay and better benefits. If I was a young officer, I would want to come here, and I would consider this to be the best. I've worked in 3 different policing agencies. This one is by far the best agency that I've worked for, and I want to impart that upon our personnel that are looking to come here.
For us this year, the council's made public safety a huge priority. This year we've seen some replacement to some of our aging fleet. We've had the opportunity to replace 2 of our aging rescue vessels that were both well over 20 years old. We have a new engine company on the way. We have a new truck company on the way. We have a new heavy-duty rescue for our USAR team up on the north end of the city. And then the council's made a real big priority in helping us prioritize our special operations teams. So urban search and rescue and hazmat. Behind me, we have our hazardous materials team. We just became a Type 1 hazardous materials team with the California Department of Emergency Services, as well as the first decontamination team in the entire state.
Yeah, as a retired police officer, it's important that we invest into public safety because it's the number one issue when it comes to quality of life for the residents.
So we focused really hard this past year of making, giving our police officers the tools they need to make our streets safe. So people want to come and invest here for their businesses. People want to come and shop here, and they feel safe and free to kind of live their life and really maintain that high quality of life. So this past year, we've really made that probably our top priority, is really enhance our public safety to make it safe for everybody.
The City Council actually voted just recently, not too long ago, to give my office a little bit more resources. So we've been able to hire a second community prosecutor. And our prosecutors in-house here on the ground really help support our police department and back them up.
So that prosecutor gets to know these homeless persons. He gets to know their issues. He then goes to court and he follows up to ensure that they are being dealt with adequately through the court system, because a lot of cities just will do the prosecution effort in terms of they'll write the report, put the person in custody, and then they'll go through the court system, but there's no person that has personal knowledge of them or can guide them through.
Police and social workers have collaboratively engaged in trying to effectively deal with the homelessness.
We're actually letting the homeless know that there's a navigation center that will actually help them get back up and on their feet. And so it's a two-pronged process. One, it's enforcement, get them away from our downtown areas, get them away from our parks, but we're also helping them with a helping heart, getting to know those homeless and bring them to the navigation center and give them the actual tools that they need, whether those are mental health tools, whether it's addiction to alcohol or drugs. We need to help them get back up on their feet.
So one of our main focuses was to empower our police officers so they can do their job. We passed ordinances which helped them focus on areas that were previously hotspots, and now those areas are safer now.
And our police department's always done a good job in terms of trying to tackle the homelessness issue. Obviously, we have a shelter in the city, and we have for a few years now. Enforcement is the other part of that, right? You go and try to approach the homeless and say, look, we have a shelter for you. If you don't want to go to the shelter, then staying out here and camping is illegal.
In Huntington Beach, we really want to retain and acquire new businesses that come here. We want to make our economy very inviting for business to invest, to make our city more prosperous, create jobs, increase wages. You know, my family's business, the Beef Palace Butcher Shop, has been here since 1970. So we really want to embrace those small businesses up to the large businesses like Boeing, and just create an environment where people want to come here and invest their money and make our economy very prosperous for everyone and increase our quality of life.
There's been an increase in the number of new businesses within the city, and I think that reflects that they feel comfortable that the city is just going to get better.
We're Huntington Beach, and we want to bring those big events to Huntington Beach. One, because it's good for our citizens here in Huntington Beach. Two, it puts us on the map. We just launched the ISA World Parasurfing Championships, and we had 27 countries coming here and over 200 athletes that are here, and they're spending their money in Huntington Beach, and they love Huntington Beach.
Having the large-scale events here in our city has really helped our city as far as putting us on the map even more than we were before. Having visitors here helps us economically. They come, they shop in our shops, stay in our hotels, they visit our beaches and our parks, and then they come back.
When they did the economic study of the air show, 91% of the people who come from out of Orange County, they come for the air show, but they come back to Huntington Beach because they have a great experience in Huntington Beach. That's what these big events do. And I have to say, we're really good at doing huge events. In the air show and the surf competition, we have millions of people coming through Huntington Beach, and that tells you how good our public safety is. Almost all those big events are without incident.
So the one-stop shop is essentially a way to streamline and make City Hall efficient on permitting and interaction with city staff.
So what I've been hearing from manufacturing to tourism to everything else, what they would like to do is, again, what we're doing in terms of one-stop shop permitting and being able to go through their projects and be able to talk to someone at City Hall and get their projects approved so they can get it built, done, and start going to business.
And ideally give that applicant a checklist A to Z of what to follow, and make that process faster to get their permit quickly and get their house built, their restaurant open, etc., to make our economy more strong, create jobs, bring in sales tax money more quickly. So to make it as efficient as possible and not get caught down in the red tape and the bureaucracy.
We did an economic summit as mayor with all the leaders in the industry, and they're saying we're on the right path, but what we need to do is what we're doing now. We're doing the one-stop shop, and we're doing things based on what we hear from business leaders in Huntington Beach.
More than ever before, the City Council and this city has really prioritized community engagement and being proactive and pushing out information to the public.
Prioritizing the engaging of our community here in the city of Huntington Beach is really important. So if we find a centralized location to give the information, the residents feel more comfortable coming to us for information instead of searching everywhere else.
One of the projects that we're really looking forward to and we think is going to make a huge difference in our community is the launch of a new city website. We've heard from the community that it's been difficult and cumbersome to really navigate our website and to find useful information. And that really hinders us on pushing out information as well and making sure everyone's getting the most accurate and timely information they can. So beginning of 2024, we're really excited to launch our new city website. We think everyone's going to be really impressed with it. We're going to consolidate information. We're really taking a look at the user experience and how can residents get information easier? How can they find what they're looking for on the city's website without getting frustrated? So I think that's going to be a huge tool moving forward for us, and it's really going to benefit everyone in our community.
So for the first time in over 20 years, we're working on our website, and we actually have a new app. We're hoping for it to be ready by early 2024. And once that is ready, we hope that all the information will be within one central location, and people have one area to go to. They go there, they know the information is coming directly from the city, and they know they have actual, correct, factual information.
When Mayor Tony Strickland came in, one of his big priorities was getting out in the community more. And the Office of Communications was thrilled to support that effort and get him out and doing his town halls, his coffees, his Mayor Spotlight Awards. That's been a major initiative that we've been so proud of supporting him in. And we've seen him talk to thousands and thousands of residents on the issues that are most important to them.
What I wanted to do is make sure people knew what we were doing here at City Hall and bring it to the people in the community, and then also listen to the people in the community and take their voices with you back to City Hall. So I'm very proud that we did over 16 town halls and coffees to be out there in the community, engaging with the community, listening to their concerns. Number two, being able to thank people who volunteer for the city. Again, that's what makes the city so wonderful. We have volunteers. So we have the Mayor Spotlight Awards. And so people who actually volunteer their time to make the city a better place, we do these Mayor Spotlight Awards and give them certificates and thank them on behalf of the city of Huntington Beach. And the other thing we do is Mayor's Roundtable TV show. So we interview people like Michael Gates and talk about what they're doing in the city attorney's office. We interviewed Chief Parra, the police chief, and talked about what they do in the police officers, Chief Haberly, what they do in the fire department. And then we interviewed Senator Janet Wynn. What is she doing in Sacramento specifically to help Huntington Beach? So what we were able to do is communicate to the constituents about all the things that we're doing.
As someone born and raised in this community, I know how important it is to understand what's happening at City Hall and understand what's happening in this community. My biggest job is making sure that I make the best use of the tools I have and launch things such as our website and our MyHB application to really allow residents to get information easily. It is not the job of the residents to have to search endlessly for information and try to track down what events are happening, what initiatives are being passed, or what programs may be in their area. We really want to make it easy for residents to find all the information they need in one place and make it all accessible to them so that they can live their best life here.
So when businesses thrive, we get extra city dollars that come into our coffers. And what that allows us to do is take those resources and make sure that people's quality of life is better.
Yeah, so I think it's important that we're doing like a citywide assessment on our infrastructure through Public Works with input from obviously our city staff. And then we've gone out and asked the public to provide input as well on our infrastructure, what needs to be fixed, et cetera. And the city staff can't be everywhere at once. So it's really important to involve the community as much as we can, and they see things that the city usually doesn't see.
The infrastructure report card is basically a self-assessment of our infrastructure, and it's divided into 5 different categories where we evaluate all of the different aspects of our assets, and that includes our beaches, our harbors, our parks and facilities, our utilities, which is water, sewer, and storm drain, as well as mobility, which is our streets and our roadway.
And we'll be able to analyze what the citizens point out as needs, what the staff bring back to us as the best needs to effectively service the infrastructure within the community.
Local control is extremely important because we know what's best for people in Huntington Beach. We're out in the community. Gavin Newsom couldn't pick Huntington Beach on a map. He doesn't know the intricacies of this city.
Local control is everything. especially as it relates to housing. Like every city is different. They have different environmental elements, different terrain, geography, etc.
This fight about the RHNA numbers are fundamental because really it changes the whole dynamics of what Huntington Beach is as a city. And at the end of the day, we don't want high-rise apartment, 40-story apartment buildings here in Huntington Beach. What we would like to do is have that control to local government and let our local leaders decide what's best for Huntington Beach.
There's 482 cities in the state of California, and we really are the only city fighting the state in this way.
The fight against the RHNA mandates or the Regional Housing Needs Assessment mandates from Sacramento is critical because Sacramento is essentially forcing us to zone our city a specific way when it's really all about local control. The residents, through their elected representatives, their city council members, should zone the city the way they want, which is usually based off their geography, their environmental elements in the city, the terrain, etc. Each city is unique. We shouldn't have a one-size-fits-all mandate from Sacramento. The fight against these mandates from Sacramento is paramount.
Huntington Beach, the city council, and our mayor wisely recognize that if we don't stand up now, if we were to just simply roll over and try to build in the new 13,368 unit mandate into our zoning, that there really is no turning back.
Yeah, so we're fighting to protect that suburban beach community that Huntington Beach is known for internationally. We're Surf City, USA. And so residents want to fight as hard as possible to protect that.
Huntington Beach's best days are in the future, not the past. I would like to claim a lot of credit as mayor, but I'll tell you, it's not the mayor, it's not the council. What makes Huntington Beach unbelievably special is the community leaders that we have in this city. And there's that sense of neighborhood that Huntington Beach, even though it's 200,000 people, we still have that community feel where people know each other and they're willing to help each other. And that's what makes Huntington Beach very special.
Thank you so much, Huntington Beach, for the honor and privilege to be your mayor. It's been a great year. Huntington Beach's best days are in the future, not the past. We left the city in better shape than what we found it. God bless you and God bless Huntington Beach. Have a great day.